Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best SSD for PS5.
Starting at number 5.
Samsung 980 Pro. Despite its age, the Samsung 980 Pro continues to be an excellent SSD for PS5. This is in large part thanks to its excellently designed heatsink and solid write endurance. If you're after an NVMe storage drive that's going to be able to take a lot of punishment, the thick aluminum chassis of this model has enough strength to bear some very intense workloads. Just don't try and throw it out of a window or something, as that probably wouldn't end very well. The Samsung 980 Pro is quoted by Samsung as being able to reach sequential read speeds of up to 7,000 megabytes per second, and we found in our testing that this model came very close and could achieve 6,783 megabytes per second. That's more than fast enough for file transfers and puts this drive far above the recommended 5,500 megabytes per second speeds that the PS5 console requires. Thanks to the arrival of an even new model, the Samsung 990 Pro, the Samsung 980 Pro has received a series of welcome price cuts. You can regularly find it available for around $150 when shopping for the 1TB model, or between $199 and $220 for the 2TB variant if you need that extra storage space. With a 5-year warranty, you also have peace of mind knowing it is guaranteed for a fair chunk of the PS5 console generation.
Coming at number 4.
PNY XLR8 SSD. The PNY XLR8 SSD gaming kit combines the powerful PNY CS3140 Gen 4.0 drive with the company's custom-designed heatsink that has been made exclusively for the console. What really sets this kit apart from other storage sticks at a similar price point is how its heat spreader completely replaces the stock M.2 port shield that comes with the system. This enables better performance and advanced airflow. This also not only means that you're protecting your SSD for PS5 from damage, but that you can get the most out of the high-performance drive thanks to the reduced running temperature. In our testing, we found that the read speeds, while no longer the absolute fastest on the market, were still incredibly quick and consistent. With a benchmark figure of 6,198 megabytes per second sequential read speed, this model zooms past many others at a similar price point when it comes to performance. Price-wise, you're looking at spending $106.98/£190.79 for 1TB, $180.98 for the 2TB model, and $485.98 for 4TB variants. Those based in the US are getting the best deal by going for the gaming kit combo. If you're based in either the UK or Australia, then getting the PNY CS3140 and PNY PS5 SSD heatsink cover separately could be your best option, as it can run cheaper. It's around £200/239 Australian dollars and 57 cents for 1TB, and £243.50/392 Australian dollars and 62 cents for 2TB at RRP, but you can expect frequent discounts.
At number 3.
Samsung 990 Pro. The Samsung 990 Pro maxes out what's possible with NVMe Gen 4.0 technology in a way that few other SSDs for PS5 can. Available in either 1TB or 2TB configurations, this high-speed drive is seriously impressive across the board compared to the competition. In our testing, we found that the Samsung 990 Pro was able to achieve read and write speeds of 7,465.49 megabytes per second of 6,887.68 megabytes per second, respectively, in our industry standard tests. That's a considerable improvement on the brand's previous flagship model, increasing the drive's speed by around 50%. Loading times and file transfer times are equally impressive. In our testing, around 10 gigabytes of data made the jump to this NVMe SSD in less than 4 seconds, which is incredibly fast. Keep in mind that the Samsung 990 Pro is a little pricier than some other SSDs for PS5 in our roundup at the moment. You can currently expect to pay around $169.99/£155 Australian dollars for the 1TB version and $289.99/£283.99/439 Australian dollars for the larger 2TB variant. This high price tag is what keeps this drive from reaching the top spot in our roundup, but we're sure that it will begin to receive regular discounts in the coming months. It also happens to run quite hot when pushed to its limits, so be sure to get the version with the PS5 compatible heatsink installed, or fit your own, for the best experience.
Number 2 of my list.
Adata XPG Gammix. The Adata XPG Gammix S70 Blade is a brilliant budget SSD for PS5. It is competitively priced compared to its rivals and performs just as well as some of the flagship models in our roundup. In our testing, we found that this drive clocked in at whopping 6,384 megabytes per second sequential read speed. The build quality of the Adata XPG Gammix S70 Blade is where the more modest pricing becomes the most apparent, however. The low-profile heatsink, while adequate enough, just isn't as robust as what you'll find on more high-end offerings. Considering that the 1TB version costs just $84.99/£87.13/$161.95 and the 2TB comes in at only $169.99/£161.52/362 Australian dollars and 78 cents. This is something that we think can be overlooked. Performance is the most important factor with any SSD for PS5, and the Adata XPG Gammix S70 Blade is no slouch where speed is concerned. We were impressed to see some top-end games like Horizon, Forbidden West and Death Stranding. Director's Cut loading faster on this PS5 SSD than when played on the console's native storage. If you're on a tight budget, we think that the 1TB model is a hard value to beat given just how fast it is.
And number 1.
WD Black SN850. Put simply, the WD Black SN850 is the best overall SSD for PS5. This storage drive, which is famously used by the console's architect Mark Cerny, far exceeds the 5,500 megabytes per second read requirements from Sony and comes fitted with a thick heatsink to ensure that thermal throttling doesn't impact your gaming performance when the console begins to heat up. It's also a great value option as, in 2024, it is entirely possible to pick up the 1TB variant for around the $150 mark, with the bigger 2TB configuration frequently retailing at, or under, $200. Although we don't recommend it quite so strongly, the standard non-branded heatsink model can frequently be found hovering around $130. Just be aware, however, that you will need to fit your own heatsink in order to use this model with your PS5. In our testing, we found that the WD Black SN850 delivered top-end performance and achieved 6,550 megabytes per second in Sony's own internal benchmark. It's a testament to just how well constructed the drive is, with its in-house controller and SanDisk flash memory, that it can easily still keep up with some of the best in the industry years after its launch.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.